Hello, welcome to Freshtodeathcomics. I'm your host, Luke.
And I'm Amy.
And we are here with another episode of pop culture and news events happening. And I feel kind of specially honored because I feel like I got a little inside scoop. Because this week we're talking top model. America's Next Top Model. With M-Dubs, who was on the very last season of the new TV show miniseries that came out, Reality Check.
America's Next Top Model.
Horror stories. You are so excited about this. If you guys don't know, America's Next Top Model is a reality game show where contestants compete in model competitions, and the winner of the models becomes America's Next Top Model, who then basically Tyra gives their stamp of approval and says, "You are now beautiful, show the world." And
yeah, usually it came with,
am I right?
Close. It came with I think it was a 1-year contract with usually some big model agency. It varied from season to season. Usually there was a cash prize, and then occasionally there was like one, you're the next cover girl for a year. And that was the big win. You got this huge silver platter of modeling opportunities presented to you if the producers liked you enough.
So we watched Reality Check. And I'm going to let Amy take it from here because I don't think I should be the one explaining to you what happened, because we got Miss J, we got Dr. Dre, we got Cooley Dre.
No, Dr. Dre.
Pretty sure I saw Dr. Dre there.
Oh my God.
There was a lot going on in this documentary. It's a 3-episode, and so I'm going to let you take it from here because you kind of are the top model expert, having...
I mean, out of the two of us, yes.
But you also interned. You were there, and
yes.
I have so many questions when we get to your era. So I'm going to say my questions. Please let me know when I can ask my questions.
All right.
And let's talk about America's Next Top Model.
So how does one explain the juggernaut that was America's Next Top Model? The show debuted in 2003, which feels like forever ago. And seeing all this footage, I didn't realize how long it had been since we switched to 16:9 TV ratios. So 4:3 was like a shock, and the fact that everything was mostly on VHS was...
It's shocking to me, like...
Didn't realize how much time had passed.
Correct. Growing up, like, Survivor came on. I remember when that came on, everyone was rushing to their TV sets. And then Big Brother wasn't really one, but American Idol was. And then I remember America's Top Model, like, all the girls I know watched it.
I mean, there's a plethora of reasons why this would have been banned in your house. Let's start there.
I never watched it, but like I can tell you, like, if it was on, I was like, what is it? Runway and America's Next Top Model, two different shows?
Two different shows,
okay.
Yes. Project Runway was more about the designs of the fashion.
The other one
Top
was about
Model
the shootings?
was about the models wearing the fashions.
Okay. I knew that whenever there was kind of a biddy thing going on, that was probably that game show America's Top Model, because the runways seem more elegant, more like a Top Chef, like we care about everybody.
Oh yeah, well
this show seemed not that.
Well, also Project Runway originally debuted on Bravo, and this was when there were no other reality television shows on Bravo at the time. I know it's hard to believe, but there was a time.
Well, this was on UPN.
This was on UPN, which I forgot that's where it originated from. Man, we were able to get some history of like the how of America's Next Top Model, which as a top model historian was good to see, what that process was like, and hear Tyra's side to that. Yes, she did appear in the doc. That was great. And question.
I do have a question. As you were watching the doc, because like we talk about, you show up in the later season. Well, not show up, but I know she's on footage somewhere
Somewhere.
on that season. But you're on that last season with the whole crew, I guess.
Well, let me just.
But stop. You had to probably do some research before time, be like, I want to be on that, and then watch it before that, correct?
Oh, yeah.
When did you watch it?
When didn't I watch it?
You were a first seasoner?
I was
I'm
more.
sorry, you were a Cycle 1?
Not a Cycle 1, really more of like when they started showing it again on like MTV or VH1, that's when I really started watching it.
Okay.
So I don't think it was until like season 2. Like I've really never seen the first season very much, which we're gonna have to come back to Adrian Curry.
But my question, that was just my questions when you start, so I guess from the beginning. But based on, because you worked there, and I guess that you're a historian, how accurate was this documentary to what you know? Or were you like, ooh, there was a lot of things wrong, and we're breaking it down with the first season cycle?
I mean, if you're asking overall, I think there could have been like they could have broken down more.
Well, yeah, nothing was broken down. Like nobody.
We did big, giant, the easy pickings chunks.
Once you get to the end, I will tell my synopsis. So
I remember going over to my friend Katie's house, Katie and Mickey, and we would just hang out and watch TV. And we would always, if America's Next Top Model was on, we would watch it. And we would be parked there all day long watching it if it was a marathon. So we knew the show really well. So by the time that I got to LA and I saw this listing for an internship, I was like, ooh, if I, make sure to shorthand America's Next Top Model to ANTM, because that's how everybody, it's too long to type out. That's how everybody refers to it. They'll know I'm like a real fan. And if I sign off with, and don't forget to smize, so I kind of used my knowledge to my advantage to get my internship.
But I feel like that's any job. You have to prove yourself and be like, look at me, I know things. So I think you did. You used what you knew.
Yeah.
You used your skills.
I used my skills.
It seems like, I remember, this seems to be the same time American Idol was happening.
Yeah.
And we always had a mean judge.
Yes.
And it seemed like America's Next Top Model, this Janice lady.
Oh my God,
Simon
Janice
Cowell of the.
Oh yeah, she was absolutely the Simon Cowell of the group.
Why was she allowed to say such horrible things to people?
Because it was good TV.
For who?
Instant villain, obvious conflict. I think that was easy for everybody to tune in and be like, what's Janice going to say that's super outrageous this week? But looking back on it, all of her, everything that she said to any one of them was so mean. It was borderline cruel.
It's like she was purposely trying to find something wrong and just making that the worst thing she has ever seen in her life, based on this documentary that I saw.
Yes.
Not notching anything up.
But I mean, that was her in every episode, though.
But Simon Cowell was like that until there was once he signed like One Direction, everyone was just like, oh, he's not a mean guy. He's just doing this for ratings. He's a Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Who's faking this, it's raw for the television.
Yeah, he's hamming it up.
Cycle 1, I assumed a lot of that was kind of panhandling, like, oh, we're gonna.
No, because back then, we have to remember 2003. So Big Brother had been on for what, the third season?
Maybe
it's third season. Like, we're talking early days. The only other reality TV show, and Tyra even said it, that she wanted to marry like the modeling with the real world. The only other like documentary type programming that was out there was really like The Real World, and then the MTV documentary series.
I always wanted to be on MTV's The Real World. 'Cause I wanted to learn what the real world is, and now I learned, and it's awful. So, tell us more about this top model.
America's Next Top Model became like a pillar of reality television. It was one of those that, as it got older, it really leaned into being more and more outrageous. I mean, within season 2, cycle 2, with cycle 2, we immediately were sending models across the pond. We sent them to Milan, we sent them to all these different countries. Never let them know ahead of time. I'm sure they were like, you have to have a passport to compete on this show. Or would you be willing to get one? Because if you were going to get to the finals, you were going to end up in a different country. That was a given. But they would never let them know ahead of time. They never knew the language unless they just happened to have learned some in college. And that's just one tiny example of what they just plunged these girls into without any real ramifications of what their well-being was going to be. And finally, the documentary series started to address that with Shandy. Now, this was your first time being introduced to Shandy. And I remember watching this, and I remember this is probably why I didn't really like it. It was like, ugh, I didn't like this storyline.
It's not a storyline at that point.
Yes, but at the time it was really framed as Shandy cheated on her boyfriend. Not Shandy was sexually assaulted, and it was all recorded.
Let's not forget there was the show Cheaters going around.
Yes.
Double dates.
Yep.
Where they had we want to see what's going on inside the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And then the cheaters always had it was always a lapel pen, just a circular pen, and they'd be like, "Hi, I would like to hang out with you." All right, that sounds cool. Give me money. All right. Hey, you were cheating. And I'm like,
this reenaction is riveting.
But nothing ever, and I wanted things to happen, but nothing ever happened. But this show seemed to have gone there.
It went there, and they did Shandy so dirty. They really played up the fact that it was her lapse in moral judgment. And I know that this was part of the time. This was part of the cultural narrative. We were really victim blaming. What did you do to get yourself into that situation? Whereas this other guy should have been fully responsible, and production should have stepped in.
But they didn't.
They
I get it, because if you are doing a documentary, back then documentaries, you weren't supposed to talk to the subject and help them. If you remember, back then, once you interacted with the person, you were no longer an objective viewer.
They did some of these contestants so dirty.
I couldn't even watch the scenes. They made them change their teeth.
Yeah, let's talk about the makeovers. So I would say that the makeovers was a pivotal point in every single cycle of America's Next Top Model. That was what Tyra wanted. She wanted you to come in with one look, and then for whatever reason, oh, you've got super long hair, we're going to cut it off and bleach it blonde. Oh, you've got short hair naturally, you get extensions. It's just the extremes, the opposites. And I know that that's what fashion looks for at times, and it's what can accentuate certain features and everything. But they made it And it's become a trope at this point that there's that one girl that's going to get her hair all chopped off. There's going to be that one girl that has to bleach it. Like, they started traumatizing these women and forcing them into doing things that they might not have wanted to do otherwise. And it started with hair, and I think that they really glossed over that can be really traumatizing to have that happen to you and have no really say, well, it's either this or you're out of the show. And then it just kept getting worse and got to the point where it turned to the cosmetic dentistry that you brought up. Like, they were really getting close to the point of like, oh, why don't we send so and so to get a nose job? Like, that's what it felt like the next step would have been if somebody hadn't spoke up and been like, we may have crossed a line here, just saying. But yeah, this was the first time that you've seen like the makeovers and some of the extremes that these girls went to just to be on the show.
So I guess that's where I got kind of confused, because there was Jay, not Ms. J, but Jay.
Jay Emanuel.
That's the guy with the hair?
Yeah.
All right. Jay Emanuel. Jay Emanuel was like, I have to say something. This has gone too far. I'm going to talk to Tyra. And then they were like, oh, we're not talking to Tyra anymore. And everyone kept on passing the buck of whose fault it was. And as this miniseries is progressing, I'm just kind of getting more and more confused, because they keep on going. Tyra keeps on going, I don't know what's going on. I feel like I just lost my best friend. They told me to fire him.
Right?
Nobody is forcing her. Like, no one's like, you will be if she's going to be desolate because she doesn't have top model anymore, that means she did a very bad job with her money, and I feel really sorry for her, but like, she shouldn't be hurting her friends and family and her contestants to make money.
I agree.
And that's kind of what it felt like, is
exploitation.
Is that what it calls, like draining every little drop out of somebody to make a buck?
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna turn off their hot water and we're gonna take away their lipstick.
Yeah.
One lipstick there. They'll have to fight over it.
Well, and the fact that like we can never get over the teeth thing. But like, Joni was in that dentist chair for the entire night. I don't even know if that girl got any sleep. She then had to turn around and do a competition. And they did a photo shoot, which we like didn't really address that.
Wait, if you can't do a photo shoot after having dentistry, aren't you puffy?
She did.
Did she lose?
No, I want to say that they said she had one of the best pictures. So I'm sure that was an instance where they admitted where they were told to pass a contestant through this week. Because they were like, oh, Joni did what we asked her to do. She gets a reward. She gets the reward of being in the show longer.
Which kind of felt like what it was is like, hey, if you want to be on the show, it was almost like the Jackass of women. Like, Jackass is like, hey, welcome to Jackass, and you have to do a crazy thing to be on the show. That's what it felt like. If you want to be America's Top Model, you better be ready to do something crazy. It's kind of like Big Brother. Like, if I know I'm Big Brother, I'm going to have to do slop and maybe shave my hair. Or touch fish.
I love that touch fish is after.
So we're getting to the end of the documentary, and we get to this part where Tyra is like, I have to fire all my friends because they are forcing me. who is they? She had no problem at the beginning of the series going, Les Moonves gave me my show, and this person helped me, and this, it wasn't for this person. But then when things were getting, I have to fire them, it wasn't like Les Moonves is making me fire you, and I don't want
Yeah,
to.
it was the all of a sudden the greater they.
They.
The vague they.
Can we talk about Miss J for a second?
Always.
Because he was amazing on the show. Like, everything he does is just, it was just sassy and great, and I loved his eyes.
The most expressive eyes and very memeable. So many memes if you look on your phone.
I was quite smitten with him. I was like, man, why isn't he the host or he the guy like controlling it? Like, Tyra's kind of boring. Especially I thought it was really cool for the run back when we did the rundown. We had the 1 anniversary special, and I had us doing welcome to the run, all the different times. And I was like, this would be cool. And it wasn't only I liked it, and even Amy was like, that's a lot of times me saying, and I'm Amy.
Yeah, I know.
Because I was like, I think it's fun. That's what it felt like with Tyra saying whatever that line is. Like,
oh yeah, you are still in the running to become America's next top model.
You are now in the running to become America's next top model. Please continue.
We did not do that, but
I know that's how I would do it. If I was the host, I would be like, hello, ladies. I am not an American's next top model. I'm America's worst top model.
So, yeah, hearing that story about Miss J was just everything that he went through with, the show ending,
the show ended, they got fired, but the season they got fired was your last season.
Yeah.
So you saw the last Miss J, the last J. Emanuel. Like, can you tell us like some inside scoops? Like, what was happening behind the scenes? Like, did you get murmurs? Like, tell us what happened. Tell us what happened.
Well, as far as like behind the scene murmurs, I didn't hear anything. I know that I, as a fan, had kind of fallen off watching the show at that point too. So
you weren't even watching your own season?
Well, my season didn't come out until like 6 months or so after.
Correct.
But the show, like the season that was on while I was interning, like I don't know.
What was your what season? So it was last season. What was the stuff the most outrageous they were doing? Because it was at the spider season you were telling me.
No, the spider season was earlier.
Really?
This
okay.
was, but
what was your season?
My season was the season after the All Stars. So this is when they mentioned that like everything. They started getting real gimmicky with the seasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You were the gimmicky.
I was part of the gimmicky seasons.
So yeah, you were the last gimmicky season. Talk about it.
It was
what were gimmicks?
The gimmicks were for my season was UK versus US. So they brought over half British models who had done was it United Kingdom? Britain's Next Top Model. They had brought over contestants from like Britain's Next Top Model or whatever, and then they had like 6 Americans compete.
How did that dentist episode go? Because those British just teeth.
I don't think they did a dentist episode on that one. The only dentist episode that I really remember was
that one. All right, so
I think they were like, we fucked up.
U.S. versus Britain. Did you help get any of the events ready? What was your job at America's Next Top Model?
Really, really boring. It really had honestly, my job was really more in their business offices, making sure, because like they were doing casting. So, casting was, in their big office, and they had, pictures up on the wall, and they were getting ready to do X, Y, and Z, and kind of picking out people and watching tapes. And there was like 10 to 12 people that were in casting alone. And a lot of my job had to do with getting lunch for everybody.
Who was the most famous? Did you get food for Miss J?
No, I did not.
Who was the most famous person you got food for?
Ken,
The guy?
the guy.
Yo, you got him lunch? So just
Not only that, Brian.
you worked with him?
No.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
Janice? You had Janice lunch?
No, it wasn't Janice was well. I
She wanted the big salad.
did not want the big salad. No, the person I grocery shopped for was Ken.
Ken was the guy you
Ken was
grocery
the guy I
shopped?
grocery shopped for.
Oh my God. So Ken was like, hey, Amy, go grocery shopping for me. I have to figure out the show. That's awesome. I wonder if he knows you. If he's like,
Absolutely
man,
not.
that girl was the best delivery girl I ever got. She got me all the whole good foods. Like, I never had fresh fruit like that. What did he order? Like, what was the food?
Literally, all I remember is like pirate's booty, like veggie
booty.
straws.
Oh.
And I was like, I had never heard of this brand before, and I had also never gone to a Whole Foods before, so it was an experience all its own. I drove to 2 different Whole Foods.
Searching for this man's. Maybe he
Yes.
hates you. Maybe that's why he was getting at the end of the last season. Was like, man, the whole
Fuck this.
season collapsed because my wife.
My wife.
I know. I realized I did that. So what if, like, his whole relationship, his partner was like, listen, I love you, but you gotta do groceries tonight. Give me my veggie straws, or else I'm done. Like, I just can't anymore with you. So he goes, all right, I'm gonna make sure. This girl seems really, really determined to make life happy. I'm gonna send her out. Give me food. Help me save my relationship. And you go, yeah, I'll do that, Mr. Ken. I gotcha. I'm going to go down to the store and I'm going to get it. And you go down there and you don't get the veggie straws, and he comes back and you're like, I have vegetables and I'm making them into straws. Don't worry, Ken, I gotcha. And you're curling it up, making little straws, and you put them in a little oven, in your easy bake oven. That's all you could bring from
No.
LA. And you're like, here you go, Ken. This is the best I could do. And then he goes home and the person leaves him. And then that's why Top Model failed, because he was like, I just can't do it anymore.
That is not what happened, but okay.
You know,
I definitely saw him in his office, though. The other thing is, Tyra also had an office, but this was the season where she was studying at Harvard Business School.
so you never met Tyra. That's
No.
so sad.
But I heard a rumor that somebody that I worked in, like, the production coordination office, was her cousin. So I never really wanted to, like, badmouth Tyra.
I would have been best friends with her.
Oh, she's awesome. Like, we're still
She
Facebook
sounds.
friends.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say she sounds like a fun person.
Yeah.
Like, just because Tyra is in Harvard doesn't mean anything for you.
Yeah.
All right. So we get to the end of the doc. So your season happens. You don't deliver Ken the proper veggie
Oh my God, you
straws.
were really on this.
Don't deliver Ken the proper veggie straws, and so they have to fire Miss J. Emanuel, and Enrique Iglesias. I forgot his name.
Enrique Iglesias, Nigel Barker.
Yeah, Nigel Barker. That's him.
Yeah, Nigel, I know that everybody was on this season that was her last one. Yes. They let go Nigel and the Jays, and that just, like, totally changed the show. It definitely, like, Tyra was just hard to watch at that. It was cringy. It really makes me think a lot like Trump in a way. Because there's no accountability to herself. She was like, I did some messed up shit, but she didn't really say I'm sorry.
Okay, then I'm going to speak now. This miniseries felt like an episode 0 for America's Next Top Model, The Rebirth. Like, it feels like
I
they're
know,
gonna bring them all back, and we're all like, we're going to change things up. We're going to find the inner beauty in you without changing who you are. Like, they're going to revamp this whole thing, bring the Jays, bring Nigel Thornberry back, and
Thornberry.
and everyone's going to join, and we're going to, like, they're going to, like, revamp this. Because
that's exactly what
the writer's strike happened. America's Next Top Model apparently was produced by Les Moonves, so
yeah,
like,
so
it's a Paramount property. They need more things. They're getting rid of, like, Angel Sky. That would be perfect for that's whatever the network Paramount just bought. Skydance?
Yes.
That seems like a perfect reality show to get
Skynet.
Skynet. Sounds like a perfect time for Skydance to start with a brand new America's Next Top Model. Tyra's back. Brand new parent company where we're going to make sure our models are taken care of and given the best.
I totally agree with you. It did feel like they were setting up to, like, launch something else.
Because it was very much like, I'm sorry we did bad things that happened, but also it was your fault because you signed the release.
Yeah.
So read the release. Because even the girls who were on it were like, if I had to do it again, I guess I would, but I wouldn't, but I would.
So one thing that kind of perked my ears up at the end of this doc was what Nigel Barker, the photographer and judge of America's Next Top Model, something picked my ear up. He said that because of the show, he was able to do things like the Miss Universe pageant, the Miss USA pageant.
Uh-oh.
He's not in the Epstein files.
Oh, did you check?
I checked.
Okay.
Because I was like, USA, Miss USA, and those are Trump beauty contests. And it would make sense. But there is somebody from this documentary that is in the Epstein files.
Who's it? It's not Ken, is it?
It's Tyra.
Tyra's in the Epstein files?
Yes, but only as, like, a Colbert mention, basically.
Oh, okay. Don't scare me like that. I was like, man.
But it seemed also, you look at looking at some of these things, they had articles that were redacted, but names that they clearly just, like, typed out and that, like, did paste all with black.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, obviously that name that you blocked out with a picture of Martin Sheen, the name blocked out is Martin. Like, so, it's just odd things that are redacted in this. But yes, I looked through everything that was on there about Tyra.
Okay.
Tyra's not on there, but it's odd to me because do you know who Tyra really modeled a lot with while she was coming up that we didn't really discuss at all?
In the documentary?
Yeah.
Was it Ivanka?
No, she was a Victoria's Secret angel.
Oh.
So
that wasn't talked about.
That was not talked about at all. So Tyra does, whether she wants to admit it or not, does kind of have ties to Lex Wexner, who has been repeatedly mentioned. And thinking about how culturally this show was, they emphasized thinness, they emphasized youth, they emphasized childlike innocence. They really focused, like, think about that one girl who was super Christian. They really focused in on her virginity. That became a really big story.
Yeah.
So I just think it's really insightful, not insightful, but something worth mentioning. And especially now that all of this shit is coming out with Epstein.
I think this is something we're going to take a look at and see. Because there's more and more being released.
There's more and more being released. And there's more and more that we're putting together.
Because don't forget, Nigel's also English. So if there is something, the English people are cleaning house. So
they are, especially with the arrest of Prince Andrew this past week.
Yikes.
Which,
That's a whole other
We just need to do an Epstein update.
So, but yeah, America's Top Model. We watched it. It was an interesting documentary. I don't understand modeling. I think that clothes, like everyone has different body shapes, and I think clothes just look weird on everybody. I don't like clothes.
Rather be nude.
Kind of. I wish everyone could just wear one like one panda suit, like just one suit. That's all I want. So. All right, everybody. This has been B. Luke with Freshtodeathcomics and Amy, the top model expert.
Whoa.
We'll see you guys next time for another edition because we have suddenly Amish to talk about. The Olympics is over. There is so much to talk about. We've only got it started. We're only getting started.
Only just begun.